Protection of civilians during armed conflicts has become an uphill task. Even as we commemorate the 75th anniversary of the Geneva Conventions, the principles designed to protect civilians are being systematically ignored or misinterpreted by the resourceful and powerful countries. Mr. Chair, it is a bitter reality that no country is immune to the deteriorating impact of the Russia-Ukraine war and the ever-growing conflict in the Middle East. We are empathic to the humanitarian situation in the war-torn countries, which are pathetic and extremely inhumane indeed. The global state of civilian protection is tragic, and our collective conscience is shattered. Nowhere is this more evident than in Gaza, currently where the humanitarian crisis is almost unfathomable. The government of Nepal strongly condemned the terrorist attack on Israel by Hamas on October 7 last year, where about 1,200 people, including civilians, youth, and children, were killed. Among these were 10 Nepalese. We are still waiting for the release of our citizen, Mr. Bipin Joshi, from Hamas's captivity. The devastation of Gaza on such a scale and the relentless death of civilians, however, can't be justified. Nepal univocally condemns the indiscriminate attack on civilians, including UN officials, humanitarian workers, journalists, health professionals, and civilian infrastructures by all parties to the conflict. The near total destruction of homes, schools, hospitals, and basic infrastructure has left the entire population living in constant fear of deaths, let alone have access to food, education, health, and clean water. No one is safe in Gaza, neither civilians, nor children, nor humanitarian workers, or UN personnel. In fact, the casualty numbers are becoming increasingly and unbelievably tragic. To our utter dismay, the West Bank is also facing increased settler violence, forced displacements, and widespread human rights violations. Mr. Chair, we continue to fail to stop wars, bring solutions to the problems, and restore peace and tranquility across the world. We are not even successful in giving hope and positive gestures to end the wars. In fact, negotiations for peace seem to be losing their way. This situation must end immediately. We call for an immediate ceasefire, release of hostages, and full implementation of Council Resolution 2735 of 2024. We emphasize the urgent need for all parties to adhere to international humanitarian and human rights laws and ensure accountability for violations. Respect for international law, including the UN Charter, is non-negotiable. Nepal supports the two-state solution with Israel and Palestine living side by side in peace and security within recognized international borders based on international law and the relevant UN resolutions. Mr. Chair, Nepal, as a committed member of the movement, stands firmly in support of peaceful coexistence between nations regardless of their political, social, or economic systems or size. The Palestinian cause remains central to our movement. NAM should continue calling for a ceasefire, halting illegal settlement activities in the West Bank, and promoting initiatives that facilitate humanitarian assistance and post-conflict reconstruction and development in Gaza. Above all, it is incumbent upon the international community to consistently and constructively push for the two-state solution so that Israel and Palestine can live in perpetual peace. Let us unite in our collective call to bring peace in the world. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.